Good morning, students. Today we are going to start our new topic, Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940, Rules 1945. I hope we have completed two topics and you have understood well. One is pharmaceutical legislation and pharmaceutical ethics. Right now I am going to share your Drugs and Cosmetics Act PPT. Right, I hope everyone can see my PPT and my voice is audible for you. Your new topic is Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940, its rules 1945. Coming to introduction, Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940 is an act of the Parliament of India which regulates import, manufacture, sale and distribution of drugs in India. So, do you remember we have already discussed in the first chapter of pharmaceutical legislation regarding this Drugs and Cosmetics Act? I make I remind you with one point, that is drug bill. So, drug bill is nothing but it is one of the 90 recommendations of Chopra Committee. Drug bill, public pressurized the government to and they made it to pass in the Parliament in 1937. So then afterwards, drug bill was introduced and the resolution was passed in the Parliament. Then came out as Drug Act 1940. Later on, after so many changes in amendments, they came with a new name, Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940, and its rules were framed in the year 1945. The main objective of the Act is to ensure drugs and cosmetics sold in India are safe, effective, with standard qualities. Safe, effective, with standard qualities. Then Drugs and Cosmetics Rules 1945 contains classification of drugs with its schedules, guidelines for the storage of sales, display, and prescription of each schedule. So this is about the amendments of DNC Act. They made several times since 1955. It goes on changed, and if you see in 2008 as the latest amendment. Objectives. The main objective is to regulate the import, manufacture, distribution, and sale of drugs and cosmetics through the licensing person. So whoever is importing, he should have license, and whoever is manufacturing should have license. Those who are having distribution should have license. Those who are selling of drugs and cosmetics also should have license. And the person who is also buying or selling, both of them should have license. Manufacture, distribution, and sale of drugs, cosmetics by qualified person only. So to prevent a substandard in the drugs, they made some regulations. So to regulate the manufacture and sale of Ayurvedic, Siddha and Unani drugs, and also to establish an advisory committees, DTAB, Drug Consultative, for allopathic and allied drugs and cosmetics. So DTAB is Drug Technical Advisory Board, DCC is Drug Consultative Committee. Now we are going to study of some definitions in relation to cosmetics. Drugs, cosmetics, what are misbranded drugs, adulterate, spurious drugs, what is manufacture, what is patent and proprietary medicine. So these are the definitions now we are going to see. Already all of you know about what is a drug. Drug is a medicine for intended of internal or external use of human beings or animals, and all substances intended to be used in diagnosis, treatment, mitigation or prevention of any disease or disorder in human beings or animals, including preparation applied on human body for the purpose of repelling insects like mosquitoes. Cosmetics. You all are familiar with cosmetics, and I hope you all know what is cosmetics. It is an article intended to be rubbed, poured, sprinkled, or sprayed, or introduced into or otherwise applied to the human body or any part, therefore cleansing, beautifying, promoting attractiveness, or changing the appearance. And it also includes any article intended for use as a component of cosmetic. What are misbranded drugs? Misbranded drugs, if it is so colored, coated, powdered, or polished, the damage is concealed, or if it is made to appear for better or great therapeutic value, then it's really. Misbrand, the word itself you can understand. Why? Because a branded, simple example is a branded t-shirt you are wearing, and with the same name outside in the local area also it is available, but it is not the original company one, but it looks like the same if it is not labeled in a prescribed manner. Next, adulterate drugs. If it is consist in a whole or in a part or any filthy, dirty or decomposed substance, it has been prepared, packed or stored under insanitary conditions, it may have contaminated or it may have rendered injurious to health. And if it container is composed in a whole or in a part of any poisonous or deleterious substance which may render the contents injurious to health. Doing of adulteration, mixing with the others. Here in all this, if you can observe, they are trying to increase the quantity, not the quality. The adulteration is done with the same or with the degradable substances which causes ill health to the or injurious to health of the public. Spurious drugs, it's a fake drug if it is imported under a name which belongs to another drug. It is an imitation or a substance for another drug or resembles another drug in a manner likely to deceive our bearers upon it or upon its label or container the name of another drug. The label or container which bears the name as an individual or company, manufacturing of drug which individual or company is fictitious or which does not exist, which is not there. Manufacture. What is manufacture? A person in relation to any drug processing or a part of processing for making, altering, or altering in the sense changing, or doing finishing, or packing, labeling, breaking up, or otherwise treating or adapting any drug or cosmetic with a view of its sale or distribution, but does not include the compounding or dispensing of any drug or the packing of any drug or cosmetic in order to curse of retail business. It is manufacture. Patent or proprietary medicine. Patent or proprietary medicine. A drug which is a remedy or prescription presented in a form ready for internal or external administration of human beings or animals, which is not included in the edition of Indian Pharmacopoeia for time being, or any other pharmacopoeia authorized in this behalf by the central government. So this is about patent, where you are not disclosing out your formulas until your patent period is over. That means you have discovered a new drug with a remedy. So you are taking a patent to not disclose the formula till your period is over. Either you may given a chance of 5 years or another 5 years, but after some other day, again that will be included in the pharmacopoeia with the complete standard formula. There are so many schedules, important schedules to rules for this drugs and cosmetics. There are, it's B, C and C1, D, E, F, G, H, J, K, M, N, P, R, W, X, Y. These all are schedules. So these schedules in that the important schedules are C and C1, list of biological and special products whose import, sale and manufacture, distribution are organized by special provisions. F, equipments and supplies required for blood and blood products. Next, prescription drugs, Schedule H. And then Schedule M, it has subparts like M1, M2, M3, good manufacturing practices and its requirements. Next, Schedule X, list of drugs whose import, manufacture and sale are governed by special provisions. So these are about some schedules. Coming to administrative bodies, in Drugs and Cosmetics Act, the central government and state government establish or appoint following bodies for efficient running of the Act. So these administration of Act and rules are divided in three categories: Advisory Department, Analytical and Executive Committee. Advisory Committee consists of DTAB and DCC. Analytical Department consists of CDL and CDL and Drug Control Departments of all the states, government analysts, and in Executive Department, licensing authorities, controlling authorities, and drug inspectors. This is the structure of your DNC Act administrative bodies. So DTAB, it is constituted by central government to advise the central and state on technical matters arising out of administrations of the Act. If there is any problem in administration side, so this DTAB will give advice to central and state. It consists of 18 members total. In this you have 8 ex officio members, 5 nominated members and 5 elected members. So all ex officio members are directors of big departments. So Director General of Health Services, he will be acting as a chairman for this DTAB. Drug Controller of India, Director of CDL Calcutta, Director of CRI Kasoli, Director of IVRI Isatnagar, President of Medical Council of India, President of PCI. Almost all of you know PCI, Pharmacy Council of India. It is a statutory body of pharmacy and pharmacy education. So it looks after pharmacists and pharmacy education. Like Medical Council of India, MCI, it looks after MBBS education and doctors in relation to their registration. Director of CDRI, Central Drug Research Institute, which is located in Lucknow. So these are the 8 ex officio members. Then coming to elected members. So elected members will be 5. So one person is elected from Executive Committee of PCI. PCI has EC committees and CC committees, Central Committee and Executive Committee. So one person from Executive Committee is elected as elected member for DTAB. In the same way, one from Medical Council of India and one pharmacologist from ICMR, which is a governing body. One person to be elected by Central Council of IME, Indian Medical Association, and one person from the Council of Indian Pharmaceutical Association. If you observe clearly about these selected members, you can remember very easily. See, 3 persons from medical side. One is Medical Council, one is Indian Council of Medical Research, and then one is Indian Medical Association. 2 persons from pharmacy side, Pharmacy Council of India and Indian Pharmaceutical Association. These are 5 elected members. Coming to nominated members, again there are 5. 2 persons by central government, 1 person by central government from the pharmaceutical industry, 2 persons holding the appointment of government analyst under this Act. Right. Next, the nominated and elected members of the board shall hold the office for a period of 3 years, and again the same members are eligible for renomination and re-election. The board consists of subcommittees and may appoint to subcommittees for such periods, and their period also will not exceed more than 3 years. and as it may decide or temporarily for the consideration of particular matters, persons who are not members of the board. The central government shall appoint a person to be a secretary of board and shall provide the board with such clerical and other staff as a central government considerations are necessary. And next one is drug consultative committee. The central government may constitute an advisory committee. It's called as drug consultative committee. These drug consultative committee will advise both the central government, state government, and drug technical advisory board on any matter tending to secure uniformity throughout the India in the administration of this DMC Act. This committee shall consist of 3 people. Out of that, 2 representatives of central government to be nominated by central government, 1 representative of each state government to be nominated by state government council. The drug consultative committee shall meet as and when required to do so by the central government, and shall have power to regulate its own procedures. So whenever there is a breaches or problems, they shall have meet as and when required. Next comes to CDL, Central Laboratory. The central government establishes a central drug laboratory under the control of director, and its functions are test the samples, drugs or cosmetics sent by the custom collectors or courts, analytical QC department for the imported sales, collection, storage and distribution of internal standards, preparation of reference standards and maintenance. If anybody asks any references, they will prepare a reference standard and maintain that one, because whatever the reference given by this CDL lab is a genuine one, and we keep it as a reference standard. Maintenance of microbial cultures, any other duties entrusted by the central government. Then they act as appellate authority in matter of disputes. Next, functions of laboratory in respect to the following drugs. They will be carried out on CRA and other any prescribed laboratories. So in this CRA, they check sera, solution of serum proteins, vaccines, toxins, antigens, antitoxins, sterilized surgical sutures and ligatures, and bacteriophages. Next, next function of oral polio vaccine. This function will be seen in the following institute. There are 3: Pasteur Institute of India, Kunur; Enterovirus Research Center at ICMR; National Institute of Biologicals at Noida. Next comes to veterinary. Indian Veterinary Research Institute, located at Izatnagar. They see about the anti-seras, vaccines, toxins, and diagnostic antigens for veterinary use. And the functions of laboratory in respect to human blood and human blood products include components of HIV antibodies. These shall be carried out. This function will be carried out in National Institute of Communicable Diseases Department of Microbiology, Delhi; National Institute of Virology; Center of Advanced Research in Virology, Vellore. Next comes to your executive government analyst. These officers are appointed by the central or state government and perform the duties. Their qualifications are he should be graduated in medicine, science or pharmacy or pharmaceutical chemistry, and should have not less than 5 years of postgraduate experience in analysis of drugs in laboratory under the control of government analyst or head of the institution or testing laboratory. A postgraduate degree in medicine or science or pharmacy or pharmaceutical chemistry, equivalent qualification is required to become a government analyst, provided that he should have expertise in testing of biological samples, which is given in Schedule C. Schedule C and C1C is about biological and its special products. Duties of government analyst. He analyzes or tests the samples of drugs and cosmetics sent to him by the inspectors or other persons under this act, and to furnish the complete report of the results of the test or analysis, and then forward to government from time to time reports given the results of analysis, work and research with a view of the publication at discretion of government. Procedure. Their government analyst procedure is, on receipt of the package of the sample, an inspector, the government analyst, should compare the seals on the package with the specimen seals and note its condition, whether the seal is same, both seals are same in the packages, and the packet is neatly packed, or anywhere it is open or it is having any damage. So we have to note down the condition very clearly. On completion of test, he should submit the report in triplet together with full protocols of the test or analysis should be sent to the investigator. So he should prepare in triplet forms with full protocol. And government analyst also has to submit a report in form 1, and unless full protocols are supplied, the report cannot become a conclusive evidence or final evidence. So because he has to fill with full protocols. Next comes to licensing authorities. These are the persons. Any application for the grant or renewal of license for the import, manufacture and sale, distribution, etc. of any drugs and cosmetics is made by only licensing authority persons only. This licensing approving authority is under the control of Drug Controller of India, and it is notified as Central Licensing Approving Authority, CLAA. For this, the qualification is he should be a graduate in pharmacy, pharmacy chemistry, medicine with specialization in clinical pharmacology, microbiology from a recognized university. And he has experience in manufacturing or testing of drugs of an act for a minimum of period of 5 years. And so the above qualified person should have experience at least minimum of 5 years. Next to come to controlling authorities. Controlling authorities, it will be by drug inspectors to control. The drug inspectors appointed under this act under the control of controlling authority. Their qualification and the licensing authority qualification is the same, and their period of experience minimum of 5 years in manufacturing is testing, both are same. Next comes to what is a drug inspector. These drug inspectors appointed by central and state governments, and he should not have any financial interest in the import, manufacture and sale of drugs, as he is a government appointed drug inspector. He should work very honestly, and he should, because he is a public servant and he is officially appointed as a subordinate to the controlling authority. So he should not interfere in any of the financial interest matters, and he should not support any import, manufacture and sale of drugs in any other way. Next, qualification. For appointing as drug inspector, the person must have a degree, same pharmacy, pharmaceutical chemistry, medicine, who has completed medicine with specialization in clinical pharmacology and microbiology from a recognized university. Next is for inspection of manufacturing of substances in Schedule C, the DI must have 3 points. At least 18 months experience in manufacture at least one of the substances specified in Schedule C. Next, 18 months experience in testing one of the items in Schedule C. One is in manufacturing, the other one is in testing, and he should gain an experience. NLT means not less than 3 years in inspection of firms manufacturing any of the substances of Schedule C during his tenure services as drug inspector. Powers of drug inspector. Naturally, drug inspector has very good power. Either it may be state or central. He will be appointed for one area, and for that area he will be the highest head for controlling of these drugs and cosmetics, in import, manufacture, sale, distribution, everything. In his area, if he finds a drug, he has a right to ask several questions. The first point is he can inspect any premises wherein any drug or cosmetic is being manufactured and the means employed for standardizing and testing the drug or cosmetic. He can also inspect any premises where any drug or cosmetic is being sold or stocked or exhibited or offered for sale or distribution. Next, takes samples of any drug or cosmetics. DI can take any samples where if it is being manufactured or being sold or it is stocked or is exhibited or sale or distributed. Wherever the drug is available, he can take for testing. And from any person who is in the course of conveying, delivering or preparing to deliver such drug or cosmetics to a purchaser or consignee, whoever is giving orders. So any sample he can take for test at all reasonable times with necessary assistance. He can search any person who has reason to believe has secreted about his person any drug or cosmetic in respect of which an offense related to manufacture, sale or distribution has been or is being committed. And he can enter and search any place in which he has reason to believe that an offense is going on relation to manufacture, sale or distribution of drugs or cosmetics have been or is being committed. He can stop and search any vehicle or either any other conveyances which he has a reason to believe that something he is carrying any drug or cosmetics in respect where offense has been or being committed. Means someone is carrying illegal drugs. If he get an information, he can stop and search the vehicle. He require any person to produce any record, register or other document to manufacture for sale or distribution of any drug or cosmetic and relation to which an offense has been committed. He can exercise such other powers as may be necessary for carrying out for the purpose of the Act and rules. Coming to duties of inspector, inspection of premises licensed for sale. The inspector has not less than twice in a year has to inspect all the establishments licensed for sale of drugs within his concerned area. And to satisfy himself that the conditions of licensing are being observed, he procures and sends for testing or analysis if a reason to think that the drugs are sold in contravention of provisions of Act and rules. That they are not following the provision of Act and rules, they can procure the sample and send it for testing and analysis. He can investigate any complaint made him in writing by me or and to the institutions, prosecutions in respect to the branches to the Act. To maintain all the records of inspections made and actions taken by him, including taking of the samples and seize of the stock, and to submit a copy of such records to the controlling authority. He has to maintain his own records of all inspections. Duties of inspector: inspection of premises licensed for sale, to make inquiries and inspections as may be necessary to detect the sale of drugs in contravention to the Act when so authorized by state government to obtain imported packages which has a reason suspect to contain drugs whose import is prohibited. So he also has powers to check the imported packages because the information will be given by the state governments to that particular area drug inspector. He will be having rights to take that imported package and uh, see whether it is whether this drug is having import permission or whether this drug is prohibited. Next, inspect not less than twice a year all premises licensed for the manufacturing of drugs within the area allotted to him and satisfy himself to the condition of license and provision of Act rules are observed. In establishing the license to manufacture products specified as Schedule in and C and C1 and inspect the processes of their manufacture for the standardization and testing of the drugs, method and place of storage, technical qualification of staff employed of all the details of the location, construction, administration of established likely to affect the potency and purity of the drug. He can to send the controlling authority after each inspection a detailed report conditions of the license and provisions of the Act which have been observed and which have been not observed, everything he can report to its higher official. He will be the controlling authority. To take samples of drug manufactured on premises and send them for test or analysis. To institute prosecutions in respect of breaches of the Act and rules. Procedure of inspectors. So he has an inspector can take any samples and must pay its fair price and may require written acknowledgement for the same. If price tendered is refused or when inspector seizes any stock of any drug or cosmetic, he should issue a receipt for the same in the prescribed form 16. He should also inform to the concerned person the purpose of taking the sample in the form 17 and divide the sample into 4 parts in his presence. Each portion is then sealed and suitably marked. The person from whom the sample is taken, he also must add his mark of seal with signature on the packet because it should be confirmed that the sample, the one kept in the packet is same which is available in your company and it is accepted by him. And if the sample taken from a manufacturing premises, it should be divided into 3 portions. So one thing is, if he is taking from the manufacturing company, it is divided into 3 portions. If the sample, if made into small volumes, is likely to deteriorate, inspector can take 3 or more containers when necessary after suitably marking it. So 1 portion of the sample will be restored to the person. The second part will be sent to the government, and the third one is preserved for the production, produced before the court, if required, and fourth is sent to the warrantier if any. So the sample from where he got the drug, it will be sent to him also. Inspector should send sample to government analyst by registered post or by hand in seal packet enclosed together with a memorandum in form 18 and in an outer cover addressed to government analyst. So if you see the procedure of inspectors, there are so many. If the confiscated drug is not a standard quality, it should be reported to the court immediately and the court may order him to destruct the drug under the supervision of inspector as authority that court may say. But if the drug is in a standard quality, the inspector may report the court and the court may order for the drug for the public action and any party can buy that drug who is having perfect license. Any record, register or any document seized by the inspector should be returned to the persons from whom they have seized and who produce the same within a period of 20 days of such seizure or produce. When an inspector seizes any record, register or document or any other material, he should soon inform to the same judicial magistrate and take his orders to the custody. Every person for time being in charge of any premises where any drug or cosmetic is manufactured or is kept for sale or distribution, on being required by the inspector, is legally bound to disclose to the inspector place where the drug or cosmetics is being manufactured, kept. Willfully obstructing the inspector or refusal to provide any required register is punishable with imprisonment up to 3 years or fine with both. So this is about your Drugs and Cosmetic Act. Till now you have seen the administration department where DTAB, DCC, CDL and government analyst, licensing authority, controlling authority and drug inspectors. So with this we have just studied about Drugs and Cosmetics Act. Thank you.